I walk through the shadow of death left to fear. This is a journey through the halls of hell.
Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the Babylon Berlin series. This is episode 3. Last episode. Koenig wasn't killed by that priest that went to his cell, but whatever that priest said to him made him shoot himself as soon as possible. He did try to steal Garian's pistol first to threaten him, but he obviously hadn't thought it through, and even Garian said, and then what? And I think he saw the logic in that and just decided to kill himself instead. But regardless, I said last episode, it seems like Koenig hadn't thought his plan through at all, because he stole a really dangerous film he knew a lot of people would want. Tried to blackmail dangerous people, then the dangerous people threatened him and he shot himself. I mean, what else did he expect to happen? And we saw how bad Garian's addiction to this drug is. I mean, he made it to the bathroom and was on the floor shaking just because he hadn't had any. He is deeply addicted to this shit. And we also saw the setup he had with his pharmacist, where he would trade him like crime photographs for the drug. We also found out that Lotta moonlights. I don't know if she's definitely a prostitute or just into some freaky shit, but it looked like she was a prostitute to me, which is unfortunate, but you know, she's got to make her money. But yeah, the main thing in the last episode was we found out Svetlana was a double agent working for the Russian military or government. She even said to Alexei, "I love you," and kissed him before she went and snaked him like that. And then while she performed a song on stage, we got a montage of the entire resistance essentially getting machine gunned down while Alexei had to hide inside the toilet to survive. At least Alexei survived, but man, fuck Svetlana. I mean, I've only known this woman for 2 episodes, but what an absolute snake. Unless some other piece of information comes out that makes it explainable as to what she's done, I doubt I will ever like her character again. Needless to say, I'm quite getting into this show now, so without further ado, this is episode 3, let's check it out and see what it's saying to it.
Warum ist der bei der Sitte? Warum nicht was Anständiges? Mord, Korruption, Geheimpolizei.
That's actually a good point by Walter. Maybe Garian's specifically been put into the vice department of the detective agency just so he can cover this case because the mayor of Cologne deems it so important to get the film back.
Der Zug fährt im Auftrag der Reichswehr.
Jemand muss die Frachtpapiere abzeichnen.
I hope we see more of that military general with the grey beard. He had such a presence to him, even though we saw him once. He looked like Sir Ian McKellen or some shit. I bet he's like a legendary German actor, that dude. Svetlana, you treacherous bitch. I mean, you're lucky you're good at music, because otherwise you'd be a bit of a jerk. And usually this would be fucking disgusting, crawling through river water, but when you've just been in a toilet full of shit, that would be like an Olympic swimming pool. Did he just get shanked off a homeless guy? Damn, he is having the worst day of all time. Don't you shout at the police officer, you're the one that looked down at his cock. Oh, fuck. Do you know what sucks the worst about that? Landing on stones like that barefoot. That would absolutely suck dick. But you know, he lives to fight another day. At least now we can regroup and try and figure out what exactly has happened to him. He must be so confused right now. I mean, obviously he knows there's been some sort of informant, but other than that, he must just be like, what the hell is happening? So aren't these guys now jeopardized as well? Like Svetlana knew about this train, so didn't she tell the Russian military people about the train? And why has Svetlana now came to this train? Sorry, I'm so confused. What the fuck is she doing here? I mean, they're playing music like she's gonna double cross these guys, but surely if she was gonna double cross them, she would have just told the Russian military guys again, not came herself. What is this train carrying? Is that gold bars in boxes I see there? Oh shit, it is gold bullion. This is definitely enough money to finance a revolution, that's for sure. So I don't get it. I'm assuming this gold was coming to the revolution, so why is Svetlana acting like the Wicked Witch of the West toward the gold? Is she just that greedy she wanted this shit all for herself? I just need to know how much I fucking need to hate this character, because I feel like I should hate her a lot.
Где Кардаков?
За ним следит тайная полиция.
Что? То есть с каких пор?
Не знаю.
Nah, she's still scheming. She's still scheming.
Ein Waggon muss umgesetzt werden. Zur Weiterfahrt.
Paris, ja?
So she is trying to reroute the gold to Paris.
Говорить с Кардаковым, ни с кем другим. Он должен был быть здесь, а не ты!
Бумаги верни! На месте.
Oh no, she's not gonna kill this guy now, is she?
Nein.
Thank God those guys saved him. What the fuck is she doing?
Lassen Sie mich. Wer ist der Vorgesetzte?
Der kam schon noch.
Who is this woman? She's obviously a spy or something like that. She's like Gollum looking at the One Ring. So what can I make of that information? I guess the only thing right now that is going through my head is she must be part of some secondary secret group who are based in Paris, who she actually supports other than the revolution within Berlin that Alexei was spearheading. I just don't understand why she would decide to betray all them people and have all those people killed. Nor do I understand what she wants with the gold, nor do I understand anything. I mean, how did she find the time to choreograph, plan and rehearse a 29 million minute song? And amongst all of that, so many questions.
Du stinkst. Ich habe ein bisschen Berg gehabt.
Hopefully there's no one in the comments that can actually answer this, but I wonder how long it would take to get the smell of human shit off of your entire body. If you know the answer, please don't reply. That'd be quite handy to just have a dude selling chops and meat down at the floor of your tenement building. I wish more butchers localised themselves like that, just like every street had a grocer and a butcher at the end of it, just two dudes who lived on your block everywhere. Fuck supermarkets.
Mann, hoch die Dinger. Mach eine Faust. Wieso kommst du zu Mutti, wenn du die Spezialität nie willst?
Oh God. I'm actually shocked at my corrupted mind for not getting what was going on there sooner. I was like, what's wrong? Is this medical? Is she a doctor of some description? I mean, she certainly cares about her hygiene to some bucketed of dirty water extent.
Wohnen wir hingekarrt, nachts, mit einem Hut auf den Dates. Haben sie uns so runtergezogen, dass wir nichts sehen konnten.
Oh, right, she is the prostitute from the photograph. I get it.
Na gut, der rote Jaul, der hing da an der Wand und hat immer so blöde gekickt. Na da.
That's a pretty good clue. So now we need a room with a painting of a red horse in it. Was that priest character following Gary in there?
Sie alle wissen, worum es geht. Am 1. Mai steht uns jede Menge Ärger ins Haus.
Needless to say, I instantly don't trust this character just because he's old and wearing a suit and commanding authority.
Haben die Bürger unseres Landes und unsere demokratische Verfassung zu schützen.
It's such a romantic language, German.
Die Einsatzführer sind Reiser, Blaschewski, Voglau und Wolter.
Yeah, Walter seems to be one of the most respected detectives in this entire agency, I guess because he's one of the senior ones. I haven't seen anybody talk down to him yet.
MP28, nagelneu.
Und ob ich die will.
Nice, I'd try the new one. That's a crazy level of weaponry they're now just handing out to police officers. God. Both Lotta's jobs absolutely suck.
Dann mach du's für mich. Kriegst du 70 Pfennig die Stunde. 90.
Nice, she's got someone to do it for her and she'll be still making a little bit of the money.
Schon mal von einer Franzosenkrankheit gehört?
Was bitte?
Das ist eine bakterielle Infektion.
What the fuck is the French disease?
Davon haben Sie schon mal gehört, Frau Ritter, ja?
Ah, shit.
Hatten Sie wechselnde Geschlechtspartner?
Eben nicht. Ich war in meinem ganzen Leben nur mit ihnen.
What a poor woman to have only had one sexual partner her entire life and have it.
Irgendwelche Liebschaften? Kann auch länger her sein.
Eine.
Eine reicht.
Ah shit, she had an affair.
Geht das denn nur wieder weg?
Nein.
Fucking hell, what a rough story.
Mama war beim Arzt.
Und?
Oh, it's Lotta's mother. Fucking hell. This family household just gets tougher and tougher.
Dick ne Rötung hab, sagt sie. Wie in de Bazillen. Was weiß ich, ne Stollet. Und jetzt ist Schluss damit.
I fucking hate watching shit like this. I hope this whole family end up millionaires by the end of this show.
Lotte.
Beruhig dich mal.
Was anschaffen wir und dann die Mimose markieren oder was?
I mean, the guy's not wrong, but also shut your fucking mouth, bro. I don't see you bringing any money into the house.
Hört auf! Kick doch!
Oh man, this is fucking horrible.
Alle beisammen da oben. Dein Mann ist ein Lump. Na und? Dafür hab ich nur einen.
Guys, have you recommended me something that's really, really depressing? Please don't ever do that. If it's dope, then, you know, I'll put up with some depressions throughout the show. But if it's just really depressing, please tell me now. And that was Walter having a meeting in a restaurant with that Russian general guy we saw a few episodes ago at the train, if I'm not mistaken.
Entschuldigung, hab meinen Schlüssel vergessen.
Badekow, haben Sie mich erschreckt?
Kommen Sie rein. Danke.
He's being so stupid right now, going back to anywhere that knows him. The fact that that guy knew him by name is straight away a warning signal to me. But obviously he doesn't know Svetlana is the traitor.
Svetlana?
I hope he finds something that lets him know she was the traitor. God, that wound would be the worst, especially if you had traces of human shit still on you. Oh shit, this guy's lip reading him. Nowadays with, you know, mobile phone interception, radio, long distance hearing devices and shit, I wonder if there's still much of a field for lip reading. It seems like a lost art. I also think it's one of those things that we've all tried once in our life, you know, like when you're a kid you try to like move a pen once to see if you're magic. I think as an adult we've all tried to lip read once and you're like, I can make out that. Nah, this is fucking too hard. You probably shouldn't have put that on the stove before you left for work this morning, Walter.
Emmy.
God, not another wife with something chronically wrong with her. What's wrong with Walter's fucking wife? Let me guess. Depression. Misery. The worst things ever. She said her membership declined from the Church of Satan.
Bruno,
Lass mal. Schon gut. Ruh dich aus.
Oh my god. What has happened to her? She ran a mini-disc company.
Wer früher war auch vor Erich. Ich hab mir nicht ausgesucht.
I'm assuming Eric is the one who was being rude to her before, mentioning that she always had a tenor on her. It's funny that the subtitles actually said tenor as well, because that's such an intrinsically British phrase. I've got a feeling that this show was subtitled by a British person. They also used the word nout for nothing earlier, which again is a British thing.
Успокойся, Христа ради. Придет.
Lip reader almost got spotted there. Is this the same character we saw earlier sending the messages via Telegram next to the train? Also, I mentioned in the early episodes that this show reminds me of LA Noire. This guy's specific character reminds me of another lesser known video game called The Saboteur. If you've never seen it before, check out a trailer. It's a very similar sort of concept. I think that woman will be safe. I think that guy's just trying to cover his tracks. He's not gonna hurt her.
Meine Cousine hat einen Schankwirt geheiratet. Berühmtes Lokal. Der Bieresel.
That's cool she's in a better mood now. All joking aside, is it perhaps bipolar disorder she has, maybe?
Bruno erzählt nie was von der Arbeit.
Ist auch besser so, Emilein.
Entschuldigen Sie mich bitte. Ich geh schlafen.
Well, something he said there changed the tone instantly.
Was willst du, Bruno?
Ich will nicht der Trottel sein, der die ganze Zeit im Dunkeln tappt.
Ich werd's dir nicht sagen.
So Walter knows that Gideon has some sort of alternative motive.
Häuser durchkämmen, Wohnungen nach Waffen durchsuchen. Reine Schikane. Richtig schöne Drecksarbeit.
Pure harassment. And it's going to be really intimidating as well when these guys bust through the doors with essentially a military arsenal.
Aus dir soll mal einer schlau werden, Junge.
Same. I think there's a lot of Garian's character which is purposely shrouded in mystery right now. That he's keeping his cards close to his chest toward us as a protagonist.
Die Hoffnung, dass wir einen Weg heraus aus der Heimlichkeit, aus der Geheimniskrämerei finden.
Yeah, I hope so too. I hope he's not this fucking mysterious for all 5 seasons. We better get some true reasoning as to why he's doing all this shit.
Und grüß den Jungen von mir. Es grüßt dich, dein Gerion.
I mean, there must be some reason he's doing it that is not evil. He seems like a cool guy, a troubled man with a drug addiction, but he's obviously a good family man if he's taking the time to still be in correspondence with his wife back in Cologne, etc. And he doesn't seem to be playing the field or interested in other women. He is here to do a job. And when I say he doesn't appear to be interested in other women, what I mean by that is he did not fist the prostitute. Could have fisted her, could have just done it. He could have done the interrogation while fisting her. That's one way to pump someone for information. If he'd have put his arm in there deep enough, he might have found another piece of evidence.
Alexei, в чем дело? Где ты был?
How did Garian find this guy? I'm not sure if this is the same guy we saw doing the intel by telegram under the train, or if this is one of the guys who's gotten off the train and is now in Berlin. I don't know if Garian was trying to save this guy from these people, or if he was trying to get his own interrogation with him. Man, what a crazy scene. But yeah, back to my 100th question of the episode. How did Garian know that guy's location and get to his whereabouts? Was it something he found or overheard at the police precinct I missed or something? Maybe it was something that was being said I spoke over the top of while discussing how he never fisted the prostitute.
Ich habe zwar kein Wort verstanden, aber wenn der gesagt hätte, spring, ich wäre gesprungen.
Oh shit, so this woman that Garian is living with is Alexi's ex-girlfriend, or at least his ex-landlord maybe?
Wo ist Kardakov denn hin?
Auf Tournee. 6 Monate mit ganzem Orchester auf dem Kreuzer.
Is this just a coincidence then that he moved in here, or did he move in here knowing this was Alexi's old place? Or does Garian just not know Alexi is connected to this revolution? Or it could just be a coincidence and Garian doesn't know how important Alexi is to the revolution, he just assumes he's a musician.
Ich habe mal geträumt, dass er es war, der mein Helmut erschossen hat. Und dass ihn der liebe Gott zu mir geschickt hat.
Finally a female character with no inner demons this episode.
Meine Mutter hat's nicht verkraftet. Für sie ist der falsche Sohn heimgekehrt.
Oh, that's depressing. Imagine coming home from the war and your parent feeling like it should have been their other sibling instead. As a parent, you would just be happy any of your kids came home from a war. My God, I'm so thankful that I'm in a time where I'm both A, not a parent, and B, my children are not forced to sign up to a war they don't even want to fight in, that they might never return home from. Must be a funny movie, maybe I'll react to that next. This must be all connected, you know, that these guys are cracking down on demonstrations and the revolution. I'm guessing the revolution is a more militant version of these demonstrations they're also cracking down on, just from the general public. These guys must be Italian. Like in the old days. You know, music with singing? Hey, it's a woman singing over here. Okay, I better stop with the jokes that the sign language family are actually Italians, because I could continue that shit all day. Yeah, the number one storyline that I hate seeing so far in this show is Lotta's household. All the shit going on between the mum, her sister, her little sister. It's just brutality to see people struggling like that. And with Svetlana, yeah, I hate her, but I also really want to know what's going on. Like, who's she working for, or who does she care about? Who is she aligned with? Does she have a heart, or is she just a horrible, heartless spy and informant character? Because she's rerouting the gold to Paris, so she wants the money to go to some other source. What I'm unsure about is that other source some other kind of cause she actually cares about, or just some heartless place where she can keep the gold or some shit? Because it's a huge difference.
Золото. Золото? Какое золото? Кулацкое золото или разграбленное?
Are they actually giving him the slow steamroller Austin Powers henchman death?
Там золото Сорокиных.
Who are the Sorokins? I wish I knew who the Sorokins were. That seems like the big fucking twist of the episode, and I have no idea who these people are. Is it some Russian family? A German family? Is there an alignment I've not seen here? Or is it just something that nobody knows and we'll all find out next week? Only one way to find out, next fucking week unfortunately. And that was episode 3 of season 1 of Babylon Berlin, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So episode 3, what did I think of that? I'm getting so into this show now. First of all though, I've got to say it's such a bleak storyline, all the things going on with Lotta's family, the fact that they're all struggling so hard to bring money into the household, that one douchebag character that I think's married to her sister or her cousin, who's pregnant and who's also had a child with him. And then just on top of that, the mother being told she's had dormant syphilis for 20 years and she's basically dying. So great, you know, thanks Babylon Berlin writer for encompassing all potential aspects of misery into a singular household and then holding us there for a good 15 minutes. Appreciate that. We also got to see a bit of Walter's home life, and it sort of makes sense, his sternness and the way he approaches life, when I believe that his wife is dealing with bipolar disorder. I don't know enough about what's going on yet to fully understand it, but obviously she's got some sort of depression, or she's just zoned out for some reason some of the time, and it's obviously something that he must struggle with because he clearly deeply cares about her, and that would make sense why he would build that cold exterior. It's like a doctor who sees people die in front of him for 20 years. The first time he probably goes home and cries, but after 20 years of that shit you just build up the tolerance and it's like, yep, he died. You know, it's the same thing. You have to build that armour to survive sometimes, given the circumstances that life has thrown at you. And like I said, Svetlana is just an absolute snake, first of all, but still very much a mystery to me, because in this episode we got to see her, for some reason, decide to go to the train by herself, like literally claw at the gold, like Gollum looking at the One Ring levels of infatuation with the gold. And then we found out she was trying to reroute the last carriage of the train to Paris instead of Istanbul, where Trotsky is. And she was willing to shoot that Russian guy on the train on sight to make that happen. Luckily the other two people tackled her to the ground and he managed to get away. But yeah, like I said, I wish I knew what exactly the reasons for her doing that was, because it would be such a huge difference between, you know, if she's just trying to keep the gold for herself or give the gold back to her government she's a spy for, in contrast to if she herself is working for some sort of other rebel group or something like that, or trying to finance something which is also just, and they just have a conflict with that group of revolutionaries in Berlin. And thank God Alexei survived. What a rough day that guy had. He had to run about the freezing streets of Germany naked, covered in dried human fecal matter that he tried to wash off by swimming through a no doubt rat infested river, only to have to jump off a bridge and land barefooted onto a coal carrying boat. And he got shanked off a homeless dude. It was a rough episode for Alexei. We saw him later finally get to the place where I'm assuming him and Svetlana stayed. Svetlana obviously wasn't there, but it just made me realise in that scene that he doesn't know Svetlana was the traitor. I mean, he's got to have it narrowed down to a few names in his head, you would think. How many people would even have known about that train? But just the fact they were so close and she said she loved him and shit, I guess she would be the last person, judging by the scenes we saw of them interacting, that he would think would have done this to him. And okay, let me talk through this. In the first episode, there was a scene on the train where we saw a guy send a telegraph piece of information and then run away. I thought that person was posted at that location, waiting for the train to pass him, and then sending the intel back to the resistance. What I think I got confused there was, it was actually one of the guys on the train, quickly got off the train after they passed the border and sent the telegram to inform the resistance that they had passed the border, but that wasn't a secondary character who was not on the train, which is what I initially thought. It was that Russian guy who was on the train, because like I said, this episode, it seemed to be the same character because he's now, you know, lip reading and shit, which is very Intel-ish, similar to that character I saw up the telephone pole in episode 1. So now I think I was wrong in episode 1, and that was the guy who got off the train, sent a telegram, and that makes more sense to me now, because like I said, his character reminds me a lot of the other video game, The Saboteur. But yeah, first of all, Garion breaks into this guy's house and puts a gun to his head, and just now I don't know Garion's intentions. I don't know if he's there to legitimately save this guy, interrogate him privately, whether or not Garion knew those guys were also posted outside, or whether he had no clue there was also guys outside waiting for this guy. But yeah, the Russian dude hightails it into the street only to get captured by the people in the car, and Garion tries to hold on to his arm and gets dragged along the street a little bit before finally having to let him go. So, and later we see that guy getting badly tortured, so who knows if he's ever going to get out of that room alive now, and maybe Garion was trying to save him, or at least, you know, interrogate him and not torture him to death. And when it comes to clues to the main case, Garion got a couple this episode. First of all, he managed to track down the prostitute from the video. He turned down the special and got straight to business, but yeah, she gave him a second clue because she said she noticed that painting of the horse, so now he has a painting he can try and track down, which is the next clue in our main case. And the only other thing I think I haven't spoken about yet this episode is that the police force have tasked a large amount of their officers and detectives to take military grade rifles and do a bunch of raids with people who are planning demonstrations and protests and shit. And like I said, while these people might not be directly connected to the resistance, I feel like that's more like the general public sentiment of what the resistance reflects in a military sense, maybe. But yeah, all in all, this is a great episode, and I just want to say, they've cast this perfectly. Like, every single actor is killing this shit, and I can only imagine there's a bunch of, you know, legendary German actors who just never got any big budget opportunities to truly flex their acting chops in a show that could stand up to their contemporaries as a big budget show that people can get into and not detect a low quality to it production wise. And I feel like they've probably just cast a who's who of absolutely dope German actors we've never heard of before. That's the vibe I get from this show, because everyone is doing such good performances so far. And I can't wait to see what happens next week. If you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below, and share this around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.